Hey everyone, I hope you had a great week. Today is actually Monday. I'm going to film today instead of tomorrow because I have a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and post this today or upload it to my YouTube channel for my subscribers. And but I won't be posting it in the groups until tomorrow because they only allow you one a week. So I will upload it today for you guys that are my subscribers. And hopefully if you have your notifications turned on, you will get that that notification. So they're, I guess they're being kind of funny with the notifications. They kind of redid them. So you have to make sure that when you go in there, you hit that bell for all notifications. Otherwise you're not going to get them all the time. So this is my painting from last week. It dried pretty nice. Still pretty happy with it, although I had a few areas, I don't know if you can see over here, I got a little bit of cracking. So not sure if I didn't tilt enough paint off. I kind of think because it's mostly where the green is, I got a little bit here, but there might have been some green underneath there. The greens that I used were just my regular paints, and so I'm thinking they were a little off consistency-wise, and that might be why I got some cracking. But I still like it. I might go in and fill in some of those cracks. I don't think I'm going to pour over it again. I really like this, how this came out. It reminds me a lot of a watercolor flower. And I think we all pretty much decided it looks like an orchid. So there you go. That's one from last week. Today I'm going to be pouring over this canvas. Trying to use some of my older works that I had that I'm not crazy about. I have decided that if I'm not super crazy about it anymore, I'm not going to keep it because I need to sell my work. So I want to make sure that I have, you know, premium stuff down. This is not a great canvas, however, but this is kind of going to be a little experimental today. I've done this before. I'm going to be doing the Dutch pour with the blown flowers. And I'm going to be using an open cup like I did in the garden one. So this will be another kind of one like that. I'm going to be using, I'm calling this my Valentine's garden because I'm going to be using all pinks and purples and fuchsias and for Valentine's Day. So this will be your bouquet for Valentine's Day from me. Aw, there you go. I have a lot of colors mixed up here today, and I had to do silicone for the greens, so I have those in little cups. This is Sour Apple by Deco Art. This is Peridot. Also, I think by folkart. This is the Arteza. Yeah, now I can't think. Arteza Prussian green. And this dries pretty dark. So, and these are right out of the bottle. So they're like a medium consistency. This is phthalo green. Arteza also. So I've got my 4 greens. I've got a couple lights and a couple darks. My base is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and put that down right now. My base is my Artist Loft White Flow Acrylic, thinned out. And I used, I put a little bit of the Liquitex Basics Hooker's Green in there. I wanted it to be kind of like a pale background, pale green. When you're doing the blown flowers, you know, unless you're doing the really light colors, it's better to have a, you know, kind of a pale background. And you can do white. I like to put a little bit of color in mine. Just, I think, adds to it. I haven't added my silicone yet. I think I'm just going to put 1 drop in each cup. I don't want it to be silicone overload, but when you're doing an open cup, you want to have the silicone in there. It gives you a lot of great cells. And just like in the garden, I can't remember what video that is, but I wanted it to be, you know, kind of like an English garden, kind of messy and kind of organic. And I really felt like I got that with that one. Loved the open cup. Okay, I'm going to scoop up some of my from the table and get this to move because it's not moving. This canvas, I believe, is a 10 by 20. All right, I think I need to put a little bit more on there because it's just not going to go. I want to make sure I get this totally covered because of the painting that was underneath there. I did sand it down and used alcohol on it. Just wiped it down with alcohol to make sure we get a nice, you know, dry coat. None of these paints are going to be really thick today, so it shouldn't be a problem, but you still want to make sure. I thought I'd give you guys a break from the Shelly Art blooms, because I know not everybody can do those and afford to do those. It is, you know, pricey, especially if you get all of this stuff, like the color art and the Australian Floetrol and all that. It can be pretty pricey. So we'll go back to something that you guys probably have the stuff to do. My colors, well, I'll go into that later. I'll tell you how it mixes them. Okay, let's get rid of some of these bubbles. I just mixed that up this morning, so it was pretty bubbly. All right, so in my greens, I'm going to just add a drop of my silicone oil, and this is the one I use. And I get that on Amazon. And just a drop in each cup. So I'm going to stir those up. More straw sticks. I didn't grab enough. It's always something you forget. Try to get it all organized before you start filming, but inevitably there's something you forget. I do that at my day job too. I am a hairdresser, but I also do nails. So and we have a room that we do pedicures in. And inevitably I get back there and I get in my seat, and then I forget something. There's always something I have to get up and go get. Kind of a pain, but you know. Thank God it's not very far to walk. All right, I'm getting a little bit of pitting I see in the base coat. I'm not too worried about that, but that's the silicone that was on the painting before it. I obviously didn't get it all wiped off, but not a big deal. All right, so I have my cup, my open cup that I have cut the bottom off of. Just a little Dixie cup. You have to take into consideration when you're using your cups for your open cup as to what, you know, size you're dealing with. So we're going to go horizontal with this, and it's not very wide. So I didn't want to go with my big plastic cup I normally use, which I think is a 7-ounce cup. So I think this is just a little 5-ounce Dixie cup. And I could have gone with the teeny tiny ones, but I wanted to get it, you know, in one swipe. So I'm going to lay that down there in the corner, to start with some of my sour apple. It's going to be pouring into this cup, and we'll probably have to help it along a little bit as far as moving, just to get it going. I already see some cells happening. Can you guys? Yeah, you guys can see that. Inside the cup, you probably can't see that, but you will. All right, so I've got my 4 colors in there. I'm just gonna move it a little bit. And I want the foliage to come up, you know, more than half. I'm gonna let that run over the side a little bit. As you can see, we've already got some cool cells happening. I'm just going to move it up and down, and I'll probably stretch this out a little bit. I'm just going to go in the same order. Got the sour apple, the peridot, and then the 2 darks. The Arteza Prussian green and the Arteza phthalo green. I've got to order some more Arteza paints. I really like their paints. We're definitely going to have to pour some of this off the bottom, but that's all right. That's what I'm kind of looking for. Really cool effects going on here. I love open cups. You just get the coolest cell action with an open cup. Without having to try real hard. And as you can see next to these vibrant greens, that background green almost looks white. Silicone is kind of a pain because you have to clean it so good, but I just take some, I run it directly, of course, after it's dried for several weeks, under the sink, and I use a degreasing kind of soap. I think right now I'm using Palmolive. And I just, you know, I don't use a scrub, anything scrub, but I use my hand to really, you know, work that soap and water in and really get that silicone off of there. I don't seem to have to, that seems to take care of it. I don't have to do a powder bath or anything like that, so. Okay, I'm just gonna twirl that off the end. That looks pretty just like that. Okay. First I'm going to stretch to the top because I want to, like I said, I want that to be more than half. Not everywhere, but at least some parts of it. And we're going to tilt some of that off of there. You don't want to tilt too much because you don't want the cells to get kind of wonky. At least I don't. So I'm just going to pull that down because it's not moving there very well. So let's see. Don't be afraid to get in there with your fingers. You can finger paint with these. Okay, I'm going to tilt it back up a little bit. And when I pull down with my paintbrush, that's how I get the stem kind of look. So this is all just kind of the free-flowing foliage, like the leaves and the grass and the whatever you want it to be. All right, I'm happy with that, I think. Something I found out with the last one, if you want flowers down in the bottom, you really need to make sure that you don't have too much paint on there. So I'm just going to tilt off some more of that. All right, let's go back up. I'm going straight up and down so you can see my cells aren't getting too wonky. Alrighty. Yeah, that looks super pretty. I might have to do some of these horizontal ones with, and blow that out into that color. That would be really pretty. I just want to cover up where I touched the sides here. Same thing with the base coat. You know, make sure the base coat isn't too thick on there when you're doing these blown flowers. All right, next step is we're going to do our flowers. And I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. This is the Liquitex Rose. And I put some iridescent medium in there. The Artist Loft Iridescent Medium. I mixed these are just straight out of my bottle with my regular mixture, and then I added some of the Duraclear satin varnish. You can use gloss varnish, you can use any varnish actually. Just make sure you put a little bit of varnish in there because you're gonna then put water in to thin. You don't wanna have a mound at all. So you just need it to run and go right back into the paint. It's a pretty liquid. So if you add varnish to that, then you don't have to worry about it breaking down the paint. And so this was the, I think it's Liquitex, yeah. It's Basics, Liquitex Basics Medium Magenta. This is the dioxazine purple. And what am I going to say? Mixed with prism violet. Just because dioxazine purple is too dark. I feel like it's almost black if you just leave it by itself. So got that thinned down. This is a light purple. I am not sure what it is. I believe I probably just added some white to the dioxazine because I didn't write on the bottle. I don't know how that got by me, but it did. And then this is a mixture of the Prism Violet by Liquitex. That one's still a little thick. I might have to thin that down a little bit. So Prism Violet, and then I added some of the purple color shift to it. So it's got a nice iridescent. I want a kind of a medium purple. And then I have the pink color shift, which always looks on the coral side until it dries, and then you get a nice pink color shift to it. All right, so those are my 6 colors I'm going to be using for the flowers. Okay, so let's get making some flowers here. I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the darker dioxazine. I might blow some of these out a little different today too. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this yet, but I'm just playing. That was a little bit of that that Prism Violet with the color shift. And a little drop of the lighter in the bottom, and then, oh crap, I always do that too. I always forget my greens, because I have to have my greens without silicone in them. So I get all my silicone mixed up, and then I forget about the other ones. So let me get I'm just going to mix up a couple of the, like the medium greens. Oh, I probably should do a, all right, let me mix those real quick. And you can see how I mix them too. Let's make my little cups. Doesn't take me very long. Got some peridot and some phthalo. And some Prussian green. I think I'm going to mix a little bit of the Hooker's green in with that. I don't know why. Just the Hooker's green is more of an earthy green. Okay, so I've got those 3 greens. Let me wipe my sticks off and I can reuse those. A little bit of silicone probably won't kill us. Oh, did I just do that? I did just do that. Oh, that's not good. Oh well, we'll make it work. It's okay. There's probably enough paint there, it'll probably just go back in on itself. All right, and then get my phthalo green stick in there. I'll show you guys how much I put in these cups. So just a little drizzle on top of the varnish. Mix that up. Yeah, see, it's already going back. Plus, I'm going to be pulling down with my stick, so I'm glad I dropped it there at the top. Okay, and then a little bit of water in those just to thin them down. See, yeah, the thing with these is you're mixing a lot of paint because it has to be thinned down, like the Dutch pours. These are kind of like Dutch pours. Alrighty, let's get a little bit of green there. That is the Hooker's green and the Prussian green mixed, and then we're going to blow. Beautiful. All right, let's do a pink. Let's start with the magenta. No, this is not the magenta. It does look magenta, but it's the Prism Violet and the color shift mixed. There's that pink. Let's do a little dot of the lighter pink. And instead of doing the hollyhock kind of, I'm just going to do individual flowers today. Give that a go. Hopefully you guys can see this blowing. I didn't get that green up in there. All right. And remember too, when I use my torch is when I get those little bubbles in there. So we'll be doing that too. I want to do a little bit of just some like snapdragon-y kind of baby flowers over here. Oh, that drip just didn't want to come. Okay, let's do, I think I'm just going to blow those like that. Those look like snapdragons, the colors. Let's go with some more dark ones. And these will all get stems. Let's do a little bit of that color flash on that dark purple. That always turns out pretty. Do a little bit of the phthalo since it's darker colors. I'm going to go way up top here with these lighter purple ones. Again, kind of more the snapdragon-y. Let's do the brighter pink. They look like little Easter eggs before I blow them out. Doke. Let's see what else we want to do. I'm trying to keep them away from the green this time. I liked them in there, but I had to work really hard to keep them. I had to like suck some paint out in order for them not to just completely collapse on each other. What haven't we done yet? Let's do... done a lot with that pink color shift yet, so let's do another one over here up in the corner. Let's give it a dark purple. A little bit of green. That paint's already starting to dry on the corners. Okay. I'm going to go with over here. I do need to go find my paintbrush because I got to start adding. I really love these here. So pretty. Let's see. Where do we go from here? A little bit of the peridot. That peridot is so pretty when it dries because it is really iridescent, really shimmery. I guess you'd call it pearl. Okay, I'm going to add some little flowers here and there. Some of those times it does not want to drop. All right. Let's see, I want to put a little bit more. Couple more of these down here and up here. Love that light pink. That's one of my very favorites. It's actually Liquitex Rose. And I just put a little bit of the iridescent medium in it. Really pretty. Okay, guys, I'm going to torch this. You want to give it a hard torch, which means, you know, get up close so you get those bubbles. Oops, see, that's what happens when you get too close. Bubble your paint. I don't think I did any. I don't want a huge amount of cells going on, so I'm just gonna torch that light. I want to get those get the air bubbles in those. Gives them kind of an airy look. I'm not really happy with this flower up here, but I know that that has that pink color shift. And like I said before, when it goes on, it looks kind of corally, almost dirty pink, but it really does dry pretty. So I'm going to leave it alone. How does that look in there? I think pretty good. Where are we at on time? Oh, we are on 34 minutes, but it's still going. So I'm going to pull down with my paintbrush. I have to find my favorite paintbrush. Something else I didn't do. And I don't see it in here. Here it is. Okay. So if this cuts off, I'll just go to a second when you guys can see what it looks like. So I'm going to put in a little bit of the peridot. I'm just going to use my stick. and pull it down. Make sure you wipe. If you want to pull that, put that back in the bottle. I'm just going to do a little bit of I think I might want to add a couple more to that. I really want them to look more like snapdragons and not hollyhocks. See. Yeah, we're still filming. I don't know, maybe I changed something with my settings and now it's filming longer. And you can see how when you pull down into that green section, it makes it look more like stems when you're pulling down. And then I'm going to go in and add some leaves too. Decide if I want some more flowers. I think we're looking pretty good on the flowers though. She's very pretty. Okay, what else do we need here? Some of that peridot over here. It really makes a huge difference when you go in with the stems. They really go from looking like just blobs to actual flowers. Okay. I kind of like I dropped a little dot of color there. I kind of like that. I might go in and drop a few drops here and there. All right, guys, let's get some leaves. Are we still filming? We are still filming. What the heck? I don't know why it wasn't doing that before, but this is awesome. There we go. And I think I want to add another bloom. See how these are kind of clumped up here? And that, to me, that looks more like a snapdragon when they're kind of, you know, in clumps. So I just want to get a couple more in there. I hope I'm not blowing on the wet end of the straw. How many of you do that? I've probably eaten more paint. Which is not good because I don't know if you guys know this, but paint is toxic, some of the colors. All right. Good, good. Good, good, good. Let's do some leaves. That's how easy the leaves are. Nothing to them. Ooh, that was sticky. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop there. I might fiddle with this a little bit off camera, but that is your video for this week, and I will definitely show you what it looks like dried next week, but I'll post it, take some snapshots so you can zoom in closer, and let me bring you down a little bit closer so you can kind of see some of the juicy greens going on. I love that cluster of snapdragons there. And then over there in some of those. And I'll probably add some more leaves and maybe some more flowers. I think I might add some drops of pinks in the purples in the bottom here. But really happy with that one. I think it came out really cool. So I will see you guys next week. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps my channel, helps keep me going. I don't like to ask for money. I do have a PayPal account, but I'd rather you guys just come here and learn and not worry about the money end of it. I have a full-time job, so this is just my my part-time job so, to paint for you guys, and I love it and I enjoy it. So if you like and share and subscribe, that helps me out. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.